second chance. Holy God, this smells awful. Because underneath all that mess, we might find some really good bones.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tough times right now, but we appreciate you all joining us. This is the Plugged In Podcast. I'm your host, D Making Moves, aka Dave Making, and today I have a very, very special guest in the building with me. Man, he hasn't moved out to Hollywood yet, but this guy does television on the highest level. Not only that, he's found out a way to do it on the highest level right here locally in Indianapolis, like national syndicated television show, HGTV star. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, man, but I think that this is a guy that you all definitely want to plug in with and get to know. Introduce yourself to the people, brother.
I appreciate those kind words. I'm Thadeus Starsiak, born and raised on the west side of Indianapolis. I'm 26 and part of the international TV show Good Bones that's featured on HGTV. Airs in the United States, Canada, Australia, Germany, really wherever you can think of. And the coolest part about it is that it's based right here in Indiana. We're on our 6th season that we're working on right now, and actually next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m., the new season of Good Bones comes out, season 5. So it's by far the nastiest one yet.
So I'm processing this. So has this TV show been here in Indianapolis for like all 6 seasons?
Yeah. So we started back in 2014, and they reached out to us. They liked the sister-mom dynamic, kind of the crazy little brother. I was just a wild kind of Tasmanian devil and just would tear things up. So they really liked that energy. So they gave us like a GoPro. We followed ourselves around, like showing what we do. We created a pitch video, pilot episode, 2015, season 1. And then, now we're in season 6 here in the heart of Indianapolis.
Wow. I think that that's something that a lot of people can kind of just look at and say, like I just said a lot of times, wow. You know what I mean? But, man, so just to help people kind of wrap their minds around this a little bit, because I know it's a lot of people out there that may be interested in getting into YouTube or starting your own podcast or starting your own TV show. So it's 2015. You all have the opportunity to create this pitch video, but outside of that, can you tell me a little bit about, or share with us a little bit about, like, what was going on? Like, did you all find like an investor or somebody that just kind of had a good idea and gave you all a shot, or like how did the opportunity come to you all?
Yeah, so the opportunity came to us, I think, just from doing what we love, so my oldest sister, Mina, she's the one who started Two Chicks and a Hammer. She did a general studies at IU, wasn't sure what she wanted to do. I mean, she just hustled her ass off at restaurants and then had this opportunity to buy a home, renovate it. Then she lived in it, rented it out with some friends, and then she bought another one and another one. And it was really just the love of what she loved to do, which was renovate homes with her mom, and then me coming in and doing it. So I think it's just when you're doing what you love, I think TV people are looking for that, right? They're looking for something that bleeds through the screen. It's not something that's scripted. It's something that you can actually feel. And I think they saw the talent that especially my sister and mom had, and they came to us for it, right? So, and I think that's a big part of doing what you love, is just continuing to do it. And whoever sees it is eventually going to come to you wherever you are.
Right. And I think what's really dope about that story is it's so good to do what you love, especially when you can do it with your family.
Yeah.
So just to kind of take a couple steps back, because we jumped right into it. We jumped right into HGTV. But some things happened in life before you got to HGTV.
Yeah.
There was a journey. So you grew up here in Indianapolis. Yeah. And this is your sister and your mom that you're working with on the TV show? So
it's super complicated. I'm one of 11 kids.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Our family tree is huge. If you want to understand it, you can go to hgtv.com. And they actually lay out our family tree. So Mina, my older sister, who's on the show, she's my half sister. We share the same dad, different moms.
Okay.
So Karen is her mom, but my mom had passed when I was young, and I didn't get along with my father too well for about 2 years. So Karen, my dad's ex-wife, was like, "You can come live with me." And I was like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah," and she just took me in. She treated me like her own kid, and I guess it was like 8th grade, freshman year, like when I'm playing football. So I'm like eating her out of the fridge. That sounded really weird.
No, you could.
I'm just like eating all the food in the fridge, and she's just taking like flawless care of me. So she's kind of taking the place of my earthly mother, per se. So the journey to it, was really wild. Like I said, my mom passed when I was 12. She had a drug addiction, and then just like years of depression, like 2 years of having a really, really rough time. Then get into high school, and I moved in with my dad, so I didn't really know anybody, and then trying to figure out who I was through that. And then going to Marion for a year, played football there. Then realized I actually loved cheerleading more than I loved football, so I went to IU, became a collegiate cheerleader, was there for 2 years, and then I ruptured a disc in my back.
Okay. From cheerleading, like,
I was
I know it's a lot of powerlifting going on.
I was actually just at my sister's house washing my hands.
Damn, that's
my disc went out, and couldn't really walk for like 3 months, and ended up having a double back surgery where I had 2 days after that where there was no leg movement, no feeling, and it really like hollowed me out because I'm like a very physical person. I've always done kind of laborious jobs my whole life. So it kind of took like my physicality away from me. But like right as I healed, the first season of Good Bones was starting. So I was able to hop in and actually claim my part in that. So it's kind of just evidence that everything works out the way it should.
How was your stint when you went to IU? Like, how would you explain your college experience, and did you major in anything that had to do with like telecommunications or anything like that?
I didn't. So I majored in Spanish and business. So
Okay.
Spanish has obviously proved extremely useful in construction. I love learning languages. I'm learning French on Duolingo right now.
Okay.
So I can get around a city in Polish. I really enjoy languages. I have an affinity for them. You just can connect with more people that way. And then studied business for a little bit. But to be honest, I've actually always like swung on a pendulum. And when I find something I really, really love, I just kind of, it just becomes my thing. And cheerleading was that. So I actually didn't focus on my studies as well as I should have.
Right. Okay.
But I just like pursued cheerleading, and it worked out for me for a while. I taught professionally for a company called UCA.
Okay.
So I traveled the Midwest, taught cheer, and then taught at my alma mater for 2 years, coaching cheer, and then got a few college offers.
So you got in deep with cheerleading, but you made a transition, because I think that this is interesting. I just wanted to ask you about it. Like, you made a transition from, it seemed like you was really focused on football at one point in your life, and then making that transition over to cheerleading. I guess what prompted you to make that switch? And then I just know, like, when we're in high school and stuff like that, and how people are about the male cheerleaders and all that different type of stuff. So, like, what prompted you to make that switch? And then did you have to deal with just like, other kids, other people and different things like that?
So in high school, a little bit, you get people who are like, why are you doing that? Like, that's not very manly. But if you've never done it, you can't really understand it. So like, as a man being a cheerleader, when you're tossing a person, like, that's a very sacred bond you have, because you can't drop the person, right?
Right.
You got someone like 10 feet above your head. There's a bond formed there. You have a partner who trusts you a lot. And the thing about cheer is, like, you can always learn a next move, a next stunt. So you can toss her and you can catch her one hand. You can toss her, catch her one hand, spin her to the other hand. You can toss her, she can do a flip and land on one hand. So I really just fell in love with the progression of it. Just being so dedicated to something, and then seeing it continuing to grow and grow and grow, and getting better and better at it. Like I said, I love that physicality. And I think that's like why I love doing like the demo on Good Bones and doing construction, because I feel like part of my DNA is like ox. Like I'm meant to carry things, and I'm meant to do really hard work in the sun, and I absolutely love it. Not a lot of people do.
Nah, a lot of
like,
people
90
don't.
to 100-degree weather is like my jam. I'm just all about it.
See, yeah, because you know most people they hate manual labor. They not trying to be hot or sweaty and stuff like that. So,
I love it.
so okay, to really dig into that, I can definitely see the connection there. So, okay, boom, you get to IU, and did you end up finishing or graduating from IU?
I didn't.
Okay,
So
what prompted you to leave?
Yeah, it was my back.
So the back, okay.
The back had ruptured November of 2015, and then by the time I was healing back up, it was like April of the next year of 2016. So it was like I could wait to go back in the fall, or I could dedicate myself to the show, Good Bones.
Okay, in that time and that you were telling me earlier, like right when you were kind of getting back on your feet, the Good Bones opportunity presented itself.
Exactly, and also at the same time, like, you know, there's FAFSA and stuff to help students, but like, my dad's a doctor, but he never really like helped me financially with anything, but on my FAFSA it says my dad's a doctor. So like I wasn't really getting a lot of aid, and then like nobody could co-sign. The only person who could co-sign was my stepdad, and basically like going into my junior year, they're like, the debt to equity ratio is like
it's too high.
Too high, so it would have just been really difficult. I didn't really like going to college. I really just wanted to get into something I love. I love being outside. I love seeing things change. I love being able to change things with my hands. You know, so and that's exactly what I get to do every day. I get to go into run down houses where they're disgusting. They're sad. Like most people would bulldoze these homes that we buy.
Right.
And then like we bring it back and we create this really positive impact in the community. We keep the characteristics of what was there, kind of honoring the neighborhood and the history that it has, while making it new and providing a home for a family where memories are going to be shared, you know, good, bad, and I think that brings a lot of value.
I mean, right there, I mean, just what you were just sharing with me, like I could feel and I can understand like that you're really passionate about what you're doing with Good Bones. So where are you all usually working on these homes at? Are you all targeting any neighborhoods in particular?
Yes. So we started in Fountain Square about 10 years ago. And 10 years ago in Fountain Square, you could buy a HUD house for $5,000 to $10,000. So it's still really cheap. And the thing about Fountain Square is for the past 30 years, so 30 years before that, pre-2010, people had tried to renovate Fountain Square. They tried to revive it. And then I think it was, not to be too bold, but I think we came into the neighborhood, we started changing some houses, we got the TV show, and it brought a lot of other contractors into the area, seeing like, okay, this is the area to invest in. And being in the area for 10 years, you know, I've seen the square grow. You know, the addition of Kuma's Corner, La Revolucion, La Margarita.
Yeah.
You know, the only one that's really been a staple there is like Brass Ring, which is my favorite place. But we've just been able to see the growth just continue to go and go. So we started in Fountain Square, moved over west to Bates Hendricks.
Okay.
I think that's a neighborhood we've probably left our biggest stamp on. We've done about 30 houses in that area, mostly down to East Street. That's where we're opening our new store, District Co.
Okay.
We're putting our forever office there, and now we're into the old South Side, which is a little bit more west. So
is there like a dual like real estate business going on at the same time as like the Good Bones TV show? Like, so on top of that, are you all like into realty and like buying and flipping homes and different things like that?
So we don't like to say we flip homes.
Aye.
We like to say we revitalize. So we actually all have a shirt that says revitalizing Indianapolis one house at a time. So because when you flip, a lot of people will go into a house and they'll change the aesthetics. They'll say, this bathroom is ugly. Let's put some new tile in it. Let's put a new tub in, new vanity. You know, and they'll do that to a few rooms. You know, so when we say we revitalize, we're actually bringing the spirit of the house back into it, right? Okay. So we're stripping the house all the way down to the studs, the original framing. We're repairing floor systems. We're repairing foundation, and we're giving it a whole new look. You know, so Yeah, I forgot the original question.
No, I was just asking just about like flipping the houses,
Yeah.
but you were telling me like the more appropriate way to describe like what you all are doing is like more like revitalizing.
Correct.
So taking the elements from the community and maybe even some old elements from the house itself, and not just kind of throwing a coat of paint on the stuff. But
Exactly.
no, I can feel that 100%. So season 6 is in the works right now, right?
So we
But
actually just got started back on that.
mhm.
COVID and all that.
Everything came to a pause because of that, I'm sure. But if you all, so you like almost 5-6 years in, but about how many homes are you all doing like each season?
Yeah, so we do 13 to 15.
13 to 15.
We've
Okay.
done a little bit over 100 at this point.
Mhm.
Fountain Square, Base Hendricks, and the Old South Side.
Okay. So like, are you taking the stuff that you're doing on this show, and I guess how much of it is applied to just like your outside life? Like, are you a real estate tycoon on the side, and then?
So I've actually mainly been working my way out of debt right now.
Mhm.
So this year I'll be all out of debt. And then, yeah, my hope is to start buying homes myself. You know, I do the project managing for all the houses. I run all the projects. I GC all of it. So I get all the numbers. I make sure it hits the budget. I make sure we're building exactly what's on the prints, catching anything. So I think I listen to a lot of Gary Vee. And a lot of Gary Vee is a lot of patience, right? Like, I'm only 26. So I turned 27 in September, and I think 27 is going to be a big year where I start having this capital that I can work with. Right now, it's just been the grind of like, let's get out of debt, and then I think I'm gonna really start working towards my own real estate and some other goals I've had in mind.
I like it, and I mean, we don't know for sure, but we could probably expect to see just a whole lot more of you in the future with Good Bones as things just kind of continue to progress.
Yeah, outside of, you know, the show Good Bones, you know, it's given me a platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the most important thing in the world is to be a good, kind person. I really want to help teach emotional intelligence, you know, understanding why you feel the way you feel. Because that's a lot of stuff I had to work through after my mom died. And like missing that kind of love of a mother, and then having to kind of like work that out yourself and like go through those traumas. I think I've just learned how to be a very emotionally intelligent person, and I feel like I've been really helpful to a lot of friends and family. So I think that's like something I want to venture in for, like in Indianapolis, starting a business that teaches emotional intelligence to people and helps them be kinder and definitely more empathetic, because I think we all also need that more than ever.
I mean, no, you hit on a lot of stuff.
I'll definitely get around. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so I just want you to know that, like, man, as you continue to be around, like, know that you have a home and you have another platform here.
Yeah.
If you ever, you know, want to talk about, especially something like emotional intelligence, I think that that's a topic or a theme here that we try to extract, you know what I'm saying, from these interviews. Of course, yes, it's about kind of tapping in, being creative and what's going on, plugging in with the right people. But I'm also trying to share stories of people that can be inspiring, that can be motivational, and that can be informational, right? Because somebody else may have lost their mother at a young age and can kind of identify with you or use a different experience. And I think that this is a great platform for that. And more people need to hear your story, man.
Dude, I love sharing my story. Whoever will listen, I'll share. Yeah, your vulnerability, man. Like your story, my story. When we share that vulnerability, we create a space where people know we're sharing a part of us that we normally don't share. So, and then after that, you have these feelings of like, oh, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy shared something that was tough with me. So now you've created maybe a bond of love. You've created compassion, empathy. So sharing your vulnerability and your story sends a lot of ripples of positive energy into your community, and hopefully they take that and they do it, and the world becomes a better place by a ripple effect.
Tad, when you get your show, promise me you gonna invite me on yours, bro. I need a little segment, you know what I'm saying? Cause I can see it now, bro. Like you definitely gotta get something started where, I don't know, you bringing on guests or you kind of just talking, taking some time to connect with the people, but you got a gift.
I've got an idea, so it's called Constructing Happiness for the show. So I was kind of working on it, but didn't realize I'm contractually obligated for 3 more years, so I can't do anything during that time to start my own show. But after that, I would love to have like a show called Constructing Happiness and talking to people like, what do you think happiness is? You know, like, what makes you happy? Is it materialism? Is it, you know, something you just find in yourself? Because, you know, everyone's got different opinions on that. And the more we hear from different people, the more perspectives we have, we're able to dial in like what we really think that is.
Nah, man. Well, personally, I thank you for coming on the show. And I'm happy that you were able to pull up on us. And it's a lot going on in the world right now, but you know, we were able to carve out some time and make sure that we could connect and share your story with people. But also, before we get out of here, I wanted you to share with everybody like any information they could use to follow you, your movement, the TV show, and how people can get in contact with you.
So this being perfect timing, first tune in next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m., June 9th. Good Bones comes out, season 5. It's our best season yet. Funnier than ever, nastier than ever. It's just fantastic. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at tstar, SIAK18. Facebook, you just type in Thadeus David Starsiak. You can find me there. I've got a fan page there where I post blogs. Twitter, I don't really use Twitter, but you can follow me there if you want to. It's also just Tad Starsiak. I love you guys all. Life's tough right now. Just never forget that we're all having a rough time. Life is hard, and let's not make it harder on each other. Let's love each other and find ways that we can connect and just heal the wounds of the world. I think we'd all be happier if we did that.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. I appreciate you again, Tad. Like, for real, man. I think that was needed. Until next time, y'all. Plug.
It's like a breath of fresh air.